In the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, some 500 kilometers off the coast of West Africa, lies an archipelago of 10 islands, a nation standing alone against the immense sea. They are a remote and often overlooked nation, a scattering of land in an immense sea. This is a place where the landscapes are stark and powerful, where the sun is a constant defining presence, and where the ocean is not a boundary, but the very heart of existence. This is Cape Verde. From above, the islands appear as stepping stones of earth and rock, each with its own distinct character. Some are flat and desert-like, their shores fringed with dunes of white sand. Others are mountainous and rugged, their volcanic peaks rising dramatically from the sea, their deep valleys carved by ancient forces. The light here has a unique, unfiltered clarity, a brilliant intensity that deepens the ocean's blues and the land's earthy tones. But to look closer, beyond the magnificent and demanding landscapes, is to discover a culture as rich and resilient as the terrain itself. This is a society born from a complex history, a unique Creole identity forged from African roots and European influences on islands that were once uninhabited. This is a story not of isolation, but of a deep and enduring connection to the sea that surrounds, to the music that carries its soul, and to the warm, steadfast people who call this remarkable place home. This is the story of life in Cape Verde. The rhythm of life in Cape Verde is gentle and deliberate, a pace set by the sun and the sea, rather than the insistent ticking of the clock. The atmosphere is defined by a concept known as morabeza, a unique, untranslatable word that is central to the national character. It encompasses a spirit of gentle hospitality, a relaxed and easygoing manner, and a deep, unassuming warmth. It is a philosophy of life that prioritizes human connection over strict schedules, a quiet understanding that there is always time for a conversation, for a shared coffee, for a moment of community. Morabeza is the smile from a stranger, the offer of a chair on a shaded porch, the unhurried pace of a shopkeeper who is more interested in hearing about your family than in finishing a transaction. The day often begins with the scent of freshly brewed coffee, strong, dark, and sweet, and the warm, comforting smell of baking bread from the local padaria. In the towns and villages, the morning is a time of quiet, established routine. The streets slowly come to life as people head to the local market, or mercado, the vibrant, beating heart of the community. Here, under a simple roof or in an open-air square, the air is filled with the lively sounds of commerce and conversation. It is a sensory mosaic, the bright colors of the few locally grown vegetables, peppers, onions, tomatoes, and cabbage, the silvery glint of fresh fish laid out on stone slabs, the earthy smell of sacks of corn and beans. It is a place where relationships are as important as transactions. Vendors, who have often known their customers for generations, exchange news, gossip, and pleasantries as they weigh out fresh fish, beans, or locally grown vegetables. Life is lived at a human scale. In the neighborhoods, doors are often left open, and the line between private homes and the public street is fluid and inviting. Neighbors are an extension of family, and children play freely in the quiet lanes and public squares or plazas under the watchful eye of the entire community. There is a powerful sense of togetherness, a spirit of mutual help and cooperation known as junta mu, which literally means to join hands. This is the bedrock of the society, a legacy of a history where survival on these resource-scarce islands depended entirely on collective effort. To understand Cape Verde is to understand its unique Creole identity. For centuries, these uninhabited islands were a crossroads of the Portuguese colonial empire, a place of trade, but also of immense suffering as a central hub in the transatlantic slave trade. From this complex and painful history, a new people, a new culture, and a new language were born. The heart of this identity is Cape Verdean Creole, or Criollo. It is the language of the home, the street, and the heart, a rich and expressive tongue born from a blend of Portuguese and various West African languages. While Portuguese remains the official language of government and education, Criollo is the soul of the nation, the true expression of its character, its humor, and its pain. This cultural fusion is most powerfully and beautifully felt in the music. Music is not just entertainment in Cape Verde. It is the national conversation, the vessel for its history, its identity, its joys, and its sorrows. The most famous genre is morna, a soulful, melancholic music filled with a deep sense of longing and nostalgia. Its gentle, lilting melodies, carried by the guitar, the cavaquinho, and the violin, are the sound of saudade. This is another essential, untranslatable word, one that speaks of a profound and bittersweet yearning for a person, a place, or a time that is gone. Made famous by the legendary barefoot singer Cesaria Evora, the Queen of Morna, it is the soundtrack of a nation with a long and continuing history of emigration, a musical expression of the deep connection to a homeland that is often loved from afar. In stark contrast, there is Funana, a fast-paced, accordion-driven music with deep African roots. It is a music of celebration and dance, its infectious, syncopated rhythm, a powerful expression of life and joy. Once suppressed during the colonial era for being too African, it is now embraced as a vital part of the national identity. From the soulful melodies drifting from a bar in the city of Mindelo, the cultural capital on São Vicente Island, to the energetic beat of a village festival on Santiago, music is an ever-present and integral part of daily life. This cultural identity is a source of immense and quiet pride, a testament to the resilience of a people who have forged a unique and vibrant culture against a backdrop of historical hardship, famine, and geographic isolation. The ocean is the lifeblood of Cape Verde. For centuries, it has been the nation's provider, its highway, and its greatest challenge. The economy is a complex blend of the traditional and the modern, shaped by the formidable realities of island life. The fishing industry remains a vital part of the economy and a cornerstone of the traditional way of life. In coastal villages across the archipelago, the return of the fishing boats is a daily ritual, a tangible link to the sea's bounty. The men go out in small open boats, often for hours, to bring back the catch, primarily tuna, serra, and garupa, that will feed their families and supply the local markets. It is a life of hard work and deep, practical knowledge of the sea. In the modern era, tourism has become the dominant economic driver. The sun-drenched, sandy islands of Sal and Boa Vista have become popular destinations, their pristine beaches and reliable sunshine attracting visitors from Europe. This has brought development and much-needed jobs in hotels, restaurants, and tour services, transforming the economies of these two islands. However, this reliance on tourism also creates challenges, tying the nation's economic fortunes to the fluctuations of a single, often fickle, industry. Agriculture is a constant, heroic struggle against the dry, arid climate. On more mountainous and wetter islands, like Santo Antão, Fogo, and Santiago, farmers have built incredible networks of stone terraces that cling to the steep hillsides, a testament to generations of human effort. Here, they grow corn, beans, sugarcane for the local rum, known as grog, and tropical fruits. But for the nation as a whole, with its limited rainfall and arable land, a vast majority of food must be imported. A crucial and often unseen pillar of the economy is the contribution of the Cape Verdean diaspora. For generations, driven by drought and a lack of opportunity, Cape Verdeans have emigrated to countries like the United States, Portugal, France, and the Netherlands. They maintain incredibly strong ties to their homeland, and the remittances they send back to their families are a vital source of income, supporting households, paying for education, and funding small businesses across the islands. This constant flow of people and resources creates a nation that lives both on its islands and across the globe. The cost of living in Cape Verde is a daily balancing act, a reality shaped by the nation's remote location and its profound dependence on the outside world. Everyday expenses are a constant and primary consideration for most families. In the larger towns like Praia and Mindelo, the cost of rent can be relatively high, reflecting the demand for housing in the main urban and economic centers. A simple two-bedroom apartment can consume a significant portion of an average salary. In smaller, more remote villages, housing is more affordable, but access to well-paying jobs and essential services is far more limited. Food prices present a stark and telling contrast. Locally produced goods, such as fresh fish from the morning's catch, corn, and seasonal vegetables, are generally affordable and form the basis of the local diet. However, a significant portion of the food consumed on the islands, from rice and flour to milk, oil, sugar, and chicken, is imported. The cost of shipping these goods across the Atlantic Ocean means that many basic items are significantly more expensive than they would be in Europe or the Americas. This is a fundamental paradox of island life. Living in a seemingly simple, remote place often comes with a surprisingly high price tag for the necessities of modern life. Transportation between the islands, which is essential for commerce, family visits, and accessing specialized medical or government services, relies on a network of small inter-island flights and ferries. The cost of this travel, while necessary, can be a significant expense for the average family, sometimes making a trip to a neighboring island a major financial decision. Utilities like electricity and internet, while increasingly available, are also costly due to the high expense of generating power with imported fuel and maintaining infrastructure on isolated islands. For most Cape Verdean families, managing the household budget requires immense careful planning, resourcefulness, and a strong reliance on the support of family, both at home and abroad. Cape Verdean food is a direct and honest reflection of its history and its landscape. Simple, hearty, and deeply nourishing. The cuisine is a flavorful and ingenious blend of Portuguese and African culinary traditions, built around the ingredients that the land and, more often, the sea can provide. The undisputed national dish, the soul of the cuisine, is cachupa. It is a rich, slow-cooked stew of hominy corn. Various types of beans, leafy greens, sweet potatoes, and whatever meat or fish is available, often pork, sausage, or tuna. It is more than just a meal. It is a symbol of the nation's culture of sharing, resilience, and making the most of what you have. A pot of cachupa often simmers for hours, and its rich, comforting aroma is a quintessential smell of a Cape Verdean home. Leftover cachupa is often refried for breakfast with a fried egg on top, a dish known as cachupa refogada. Seafood is naturally a staple of the diet. A freshly caught piece of tuna or sera, simply grilled with a side of rice and vegetables, is a common and cherished meal. Another popular dish is a savory fish stew or moqueca de pêche, rich with onions, tomatoes, and peppers. The cuisine is built on a foundation of simple, essential ingredients. Corn, rice, and beans form the backbone of many dishes. In areas where agriculture is possible, tropical fruits like mangoes, papayas, and bananas add a touch of sweetness to the diet. Home cooking is the heart of the food culture. Recipes are passed down through generations, not in written books, but taught by feel, by taste, and by observation. Small, unassuming local restaurants and cafes are found in every town, serving simple, delicious, and affordable meals that offer an authentic taste of the islands. Here, the menu is often straightforward, offering the catch of the day, a hearty plate of cachupa or savory pastries. At its core, Cape Verdean food is about community, comfort, and a deep connection to the ingredients that have sustained its people for centuries through times of plenty and of hardship. To truly understand Cape Verde is to understand its nature. The landscape is not a passive backdrop. It is an active, powerful force that shapes every aspect of daily life, from the economy to the national character. The islands offer a stunning and almost bewildering diversity of scenery. There is the volcanic majesty of Fogo Island, dominated by the imposing, symmetrical cone of Pico do Fogo, an active volcano whose peak is the highest point in the nation. Its dark, fertile slopes, enriched by past eruptions, are used to grow exceptional coffee and wine grapes within the crater itself. In stark contrast is the island of Santo Antão, a hiker's paradise of breathtaking green mountains and deep, verdant valleys. Here, intricate networks of cobblestone paths, built by hand over centuries, connect remote villages and wind through landscapes of terraced fields that seem to defy gravity. Then, there are the desert islands of Sal and Boa Vista, where vast, windswept plains and sand dunes, blown over from the Sahara, meet the turquoise sea, creating landscapes of immense space and solitude. This environment invites an outdoor life, one lived in close and constant connection with the elements. The sun, the wind, and the sea are constant companions. For many, daily life revolves around the ocean. Fishing, swimming, and simply gathering on the beach are integral parts of the culture. The beach is the island's public square, a place for family gatherings, on a Sunday for children to play, and for quiet contemplation at the end of the day. The constant wind, or brisa, is another defining feature. While it can make the landscape feel rugged and untamed, it also provides a welcome relief from the tropical heat and has made the islands a world-class destination for windsurfing and kitesurfing. This deep, daily interaction with the natural world fosters a profound sense of place and a quiet resilience, a character forged by living in a land of stark beauty, limited resources, and the immense, ever-present power of the ocean. For all its apparent remoteness, Cape Verde is a connected nation, linked by a network of sea and air routes and modern technology. Navigating the archipelago is a part of daily life. An essential network of inter-island flights and ferries serves as the lifeline that connects the islands to each other, transporting people, goods, and services. These journeys, whether a short flight with stunning aerial views of the volcanic landscapes or a longer, slower ferry ride where the ocean's presence is deeply felt, are a constant and beautiful reminder of the maritime nature of this island nation. On the islands themselves, the primary mode of public transport is the aluga, or rented, shared taxi. These are often brightly colored minibuses or pickup trucks that run on semi-fixed routes, picking up and dropping off passengers along the way. A ride in an aluga is a quintessential Cape Verdean experience, a journey filled with loud music, lively conversation, and a powerful sense of shared community. It is a microcosm of Cape Verdean society on wheels. The road networks, particularly on the more mountainous islands, are feats of engineering, with cobblestone roads winding their way up steep hillsides, offering stunning views at every turn. This blend of the traditional and the modern is a defining characteristic of Cape Verdean life. It is entirely possible to live in a small, remote village where life follows time-honored routines, yet still have access to a mobile phone and a reliable internet connection, which has become a vital link to family members living abroad. This unique balance allows Cape Verdeans to maintain their strong community ties and cultural traditions while participating in the global conversation, bridging the vast ocean distances with technology. For the young people of Cape Verde, life is a unique and often complex balance between a deep-rooted love for their island home and the powerful, undeniable pull of the wider world. Education is a high priority, and the public school system provides a crucial foundation for the nation's youth. However, for higher education and specialized career opportunities, many young Cape Verdeans must look beyond their home island. It is common for them to move to the larger islands, like Santiago or São Vicente, where the universities and main job markets are located, or to travel abroad, most often to Portugal or the United States, to attend university or seek employment that simply doesn't exist at home. This period away from home is a modern rite of passage, a journey that is both exciting and tinged with the sadness of departure. It is a chance to gain new skills, experience different cultures, and broaden their perspectives. But the pull of home, the deep-seated connection to family, community, and the unique Cape Verdean culture is incredibly strong. The feeling of saudade is a constant companion for many young people living abroad. Many feel a powerful desire to one day return, to bring their new skills and ideas back to contribute to the development of their country. The great challenge for Cape Verde in the 21st century is to create enough diverse and challenging opportunities to keep its young, educated population at home, to reverse the brain drain that has been a reality for generations. It is a delicate and ongoing balancing act, fostering the innovation and economic growth necessary to build a sustainable future while preserving the unique culture and cherished quality of life that makes the islands so special. The rhythm of day and night in Cape Verde is a study in beautiful and telling contrasts. The daytime is for work, for activity, for moving forward. The sun is bright and intense, and life is lived with a sense of purpose. The markets are bustling, the fishing boats are at sea, and the towns are filled with the sounds of commerce and daily life. The energy is outward focused, a reflection of a society built on hard work and making the most of the daylight hours. As the sun begins to set, painting the sky in soft hues of orange and pink, a palpable shift occurs. The fierce heat of the day softens into a warm, breezy evening. This is when life turns inward, toward family, friends, and community. The workday ends, and the social day begins. People return to their neighborhoods, and the public squares, the plazas, come alive. Families take a leisurely evening stroll, children play, and friends gather at small open-air cafes to talk and listen to music. The gentle sound of a guitar or the rhythmic slapping of dominoes on a wooden table often drifts through the warm air. The evening is for connection. It is a time for the large family dinners that anchor the week, for sharing stories, and for simply enjoying the calm, peaceful atmosphere. The quiet of the night is not one of silence, but of a gentle, communal hum, a shared sense of peace and togetherness that settles over the islands as they rest in the vast darkness of the surrounding ocean. Life in this beautiful Atlantic archipelago is not without its profound and persistent challenges. The very geography that gives Cape Verde its unique character also brings formidable difficulties. The most significant and existential of these is the scarcity of natural resources, most critically, fresh water. The islands lie in a dry, arid region on the edge of the Sahel, and drought is a recurring and serious threat that has historically led to devastating famines and fueled waves of emigration. Today, the nation relies heavily on expensive and energy-intensive desalination plants to provide essential fresh water, a constant reminder of the fragility of life in this environment. The nation's isolation and limited resources mean it is heavily dependent on imported goods, from food and fuel to cars and construction materials. This makes the economy vulnerable to global price fluctuations and creates a high cost of living for its citizens. Economic opportunities, particularly for skilled professionals outside of the tourism sector, can be limited, which continues to drive the long-standing pattern of emigration. There is also the constant delicate challenge of balancing the economic benefits of tourism with the need to protect the fragile natural environment and the peaceful, authentic culture that attracts visitors in the first place. How does a small nation welcome development without sacrificing the very soul that makes it unique? These are not abstract problems. They are the daily realities that the people of Cape Verde confront with a characteristic blend of pragmatism, patience, and an unyielding, time-tested resilience. So why do people choose to stay? In a world of seemingly limitless options, in the face of economic hardship and environmental challenges, what is the powerful, magnetic force that anchors people to these small, remote islands? The answers are found not in grand monuments or material wealth, but in the simple, profound, and intangible truths of daily life. They stay for the unbreakable bonds of family, for the comfort of a community where they are known, valued, and supported, where the concept of junta mu means no one has to face their struggles alone. They stay for the unparalleled safety, for the simple, priceless freedom to raise their children in a place where the entire community looks out for them. They stay for the peace, for the slower, more human rhythm of life that allows for a deeper connection to oneself and to the world. In an age of constant noise, speed, and distraction, Cape Verde offers a rare and precious tranquility, and above all, they stay for the culture, for the profound, unshakable connection to home. It is a connection that is carried on the wind, that is heard in the soulful notes of a mourner, and that is felt in the warm, welcoming spirit of Morabeza. It is the feeling of having roots that run as deep as the volcanic rock itself, a sense of belonging that cannot be replicated anywhere else on Earth. It is a connection to a unique Creole identity, a history of survival and creation that is a source of immense pride. Cape Verde exists in a delicate and beautiful balance between a proud African heritage and a long European history, between the stark, untamed beauty of its nature and the gentle warmth of its communities, between a cherished connection to home and a necessary vital relationship with the wider world. It is a place shaped by the ocean winds, by the brilliant, life-giving sun, and by a quiet, enduring, and deeply admirable resilience that has been forged over centuries. Here, life is not measured by its material wealth or its ease, but by its depth. It is found in the strength of family, in the comfort of a familiar song, in the warmth of a shared meal, and in the simple, profound beauty of the everyday. It is a living testament to the idea that even in the most remote and challenging corners of our world, a rich, meaningful, and quietly joyful life can flourish, far from the attention of the wider world, moving to its own gentle, timeless rhythm.